Fear is a natural part of life, but phobias are characterized by a disproportionate intensity. We're all scaredy cats in one way or another, whether it's spiders, heights, clowns. We've all got something that raises the hairs on the backs of our necks. Some are just more common than others. What is phobia then? It is the persistent fear of a situation, activity, or thing that causes one to want to avoid it. Although phobias often go underreported, the statistics for people who have phobias are thought to be more than 6 million people in the United States. Women tend to be twice as likely to develop a phobia compared to men. Are you ready to tackle about phobias? Stay comfy on your seat as we present to you the list of top 10 peculiar phobias in the world. At number 10, we have NomoPhobia. Do you have trouble putting down your smartphone? Or feel anxious when you know you'll lose service for a few hours? Do thoughts of being without your phone cause distress? If so, it's possible you could have NomoPhobia, an extreme fear of not having your phone or not being able to use it. This phobia is not so surprising in this day and age. A fear of being without your mobile phone or being unable to connect to the internet? The various psychological factors involved when a person overuses the mobile phone are low self-esteem and extrovert personality. This seems strange for many, but really exists in many of us. Next at number 9, we have DecidoPhobia. DecidoPhobia is the fear of making decisions, or more probably, the fear of making mistakes. It is most commonly associated with a person who has a perfectionist thinking style, and can often lead to what we call paralysis by analysis, which is the paradoxical outcome of not making any decisions at all. While there is no exact cause, experts have speculated that it may have stemmed from a traumatic event. When you have DecidoPhobia, you may think a lot about some decisions, like money. Sometimes you may not decide what to invest in or how much to save. This is the most common phobia in many upper-class elites, and the ones on the top positions. At 8th spot, we have Boogeyphobia. Boogeyphobia is the fear of boogies or the boogeyman. This fear is influenced by the media and subsequently implanted in their mind. Watching a lot of horror movies is effective in the development of boogeyphobia. When you fear something is under your bed or walking behind you, or if you don't feel yourself alone, then you have the fear of boogeymen. As with any phobia, the symptoms vary by person depending on their level of fear. The most common symptoms of phobias are trembling, chest pains, heart palpitations, elevated blood pressure, shortness of breath, rapid speech or inability to speak, dry mouth, upset stomach, nausea, and hot or cold flashes. This is the most common phobia in women. Number 7. Pediophobia, fear of dolls. If you've ever seen the horror movie with a doll named Chucky, you've probably never looked at a doll the same way again. Pediophobia is the unwarranted, irrational, and persistent fear or worry of dolls. It is a specific phobia belonging to the category of automaton phobia. This is a type of phobia where the individual is afraid of all humanoid, or human-like but not quite, objects, including mannequins, marionettes, ventriloquist dummies, wax figures, and matrix or robotic figures. Whatever the cause of fear of dolls phobia, there can be intense emotional upheaval and turmoil in the mind of the sufferer. Some people might experience a full-blown panic attack upon sighting a doll. Still, others live in constant fear of dolls. Next at number 6, Blutophobia. Blutophobia, or fear of bathing, is a relatively uncommon but serious phobia that appears to be more prevalent in women and children. Yes, many children demonstratively dislike baths, but a phobia is different. Blutophobia, like all phobias, is an anxiety disorder. It's clinically known as a specific phobia. A traumatic past event is commonly the trigger for blutophobia, although you may or may not consciously remember it. Like most specific phobias, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques are frequently part of a treatment plan for blutophobia. An estimated 19.2 million adults in the United States are affected by specific phobias, and a lot of them belong to this phobia. Down to number 5, Neophobia, fear of new things. This comes from the Greek neos, meaning new phobia, from the Greek phobos, meaning fear of anything new. Humans are creatures of habit. We may spend decades in the same house, working for the same employer, driving the same car, and even eating the same thing every Friday night. Humans are also adventurers. We love to know what is just around the next bend. We eagerly await raises, promotions, and vacations. We constantly strive for knowledge and achievement. Can you believe there are some people, who's not ready to visit? We all have that one plan destroyer friend. Maybe he or she has Neophobia. This is really not an acceptable phobia for many of you, but is really a disease that is very much common in many parts of the world. On our fourth spot is social phobias. Social phobia, also called social anxiety, is a disorder characterized by overwhelming anxiety and excessive self-consciousness in everyday social situations. People with social phobia have a persistent, intense, and chronic fear of being watched and judged by others, and of being embarrassed or humiliated by their own actions. Social phobia affects an estimated 1 in 10 people. It affects people of all races and social classes. Social phobia can be limited to only one type of situation, such as a fear of speaking in formal or informal situations, or eating or drinking in front of others, or, in its most severe form, may be so broad that a person experiences symptoms of anxiety almost any time they are around other people. Next on our number 3 is Mysophobia, the fear of germs or dirt. Mysophobia, also known as germophobia, is the fear of contamination and germs. It is most commonly associated with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, but can present in a wide variety of people. Some people may develop mysophobia after experiencing a traumatic event, whereas others may start focusing on germs as a result of their anxiety. The most common symptoms of mysophobia is frequent hand washing. When you believe that germ contact may have occurred, such as when shaking hands with someone or using a doorknob, you may take multiple showers each day. You might carry and use hand sanitizer frequently. Now down to our second spot, acrophobia, the fear of heights. Acrophobia can cause you to fear a variety of things related to being far from the ground. Depending on the phobia's severity, you may fear being on a high floor of a building, as much as simply climbing a ladder. The word comes from the Greek word for heights, which is akron, and the Greek word for fear, which is phobos. Typically, don't enjoy outings to amusement parks if these involve Ferris wheels and roller coasters. An older study states that up to 1 in 20 people may experience acrophobia. Although a dislike or slight fear of heights is normal, people with acrophobia have an intense, irrational fear of heights. A person does not need to be especially high up for this severe anxiety to arise. And even the thought of being high up may trigger a panic attack. Some people use the word vertigo when describing their fear of heights, but vertigo, or the unpleasant sensation of spinning, is really just one symptom of acrophobia. Can you guess the last one? I think most people are familiar with this phobia. At number 1, we have claustrophobia, irrational fear of confined spaces. People affected by claustrophobia will often go out of their way to avoid confined spaces. It may reinforce the fear. Some people with claustrophobia experience mild anxiety when in a confined space, while others have severe anxiety or panic attacks. Up to 5% of Americans may experience claustrophobia, and some people thinking about being in a confined space can trigger fears of claustrophobia. Some other triggers may include being inside an elevator, a small room without any windows, or even being on an airplane. Some people have reported that wearing tight-necked clothing can provoke feelings of claustrophobia. That's it for today's video. Are you aware of these phobias that we mentioned? Do you have one of these phobias, or know someone who do? Share it on the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, District 10 TV, for we are here to serve you with our fun, interesting, knowledgeable videos. And if you enjoyed today's video, then you will surely enjoy our upcoming videos. Click the bell button so you will be notified every time when we have a new upload in the channel. You may also check our previous videos as well. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.